Hey, sailors. Welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Janda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3 as the United States. It's November 1920, and we've just gone to war with Russia. For now, that's the only country we're at war with. However, a quick glance at the Relations tab here will show that, and I didn't even know this, but apparently Russia and Spain have an alliance, so we might very well end up at war with Spain. And tensions with Germany and France are extremely close to war, as are France and Italy. So we could very easily end up with, and Germany is our ally and has already gone to war with Russia. So we could very easily end up with Germany, Italy, and the United States versus France, Spain, and Russia. We'll see how it plays out. For now, it's us and Germany versus Russia. So the fleet, as is in actual service right now, has 10 dreadnought battleships, 5 battlecruisers, a light carrier, 5 heavy cruisers, 12 light cruisers, 50 destroyers. Now Russia's fleet has more than that, 13 battleships, only 4 battlecruisers, although some of them are quite nice. These are the main things we have to worry about for dreadnoughts: Imperatricia Ekaterina Velikaya, plus the battlecruisers Kinburn and Ochakov. Now, our targets for the war against Russia here are probably going to be to try to get Sakhalin and maybe Kamchatka. Oh, and also Hainan. Although I don't think we probably have the invasion range to target Hainan directly. Nope. But hopefully we do for Sakhalin. I don't know that we have that. Nope. Okay. So we're just going to need to basically go and blockade their west coast and hope that we can eventually force them to surrender. To that end, although we're going to definitely send some forces to the west, I suspect most of what we got is going to just need to go to Northern Europe or the Baltic states to reinforce Germany. So I'm going to take a good, very large task force here of several battleships, 6 battleships, 4 battle cruisers, our 1 light carrier, and all our somewhat decently modern destroyers. And I'm actually just going to send all of them directly to... Well, let's start with Northern Europe, and it does look like we should be able to use Germany's base capacity since we're allies at war together, so we're going to start by moving to Northern Europe, and we'll see what the Russians do. Then aside from that, I do want to lock down at least the Russian territories over here. I can't invade this, can I? No. I think it's a home area, technically. Yeah. Alright, so what I can do is... We don't have a whole lot in the Pacific, but... I should be able to spare... Leaving a little bit to defend our coast, I should be able to spare a couple of older... large ships, and maybe our seaplane carrier, and... some of our older destroyers to head to the Northeast Asia. I think they'll be able to pick up light cruisers there. I did just realize that I neglected to send any light cruisers with that force that I sent to Northern Europe. Okay, hopefully that'll all go through. I guess we had better turn on training as long as we're going to be at war, although holy cow, that will bankrupt us badly. You know, this is much less likely to be like... I want to turn on just gunnery. This is much less likely to be some sort of death war than our fight with Britain was, so... I mean, we could end up fighting a fleet action with the Russians, but oh, right. Well, all of our old destroyers, which have been in reserve, at least still have a purpose. They're all going to trade protection. So there we go. And we finally commissioned our first heavy cruiser, just in time. Our first modern heavy cruiser, that is, I mean. Wow, okay, the game is having issues. There we go. Oh, still having issues? Why? Well, there we go. Finally. And we are blockading Russia immediately. That's excellent. That's interesting. So do we just need to hold Northern Europe in order to officially blockade Russia? Seems like maybe we do. That's pretty nice. And then we'll just hang out in Northern Europe, which makes sense, of course, if we can just hold the Denmark Straits, and this one's the Kattegat, right? Anyway, the Denmark Straits, Straits of Denmark. Obviously, Russia can't exit the Baltic, so it makes sense. Well, yeah, then we'll just wipe them out if they come out. That'll be fine. And we'll send a nice little force to Asia just to harass them, basically. So we have just commissioned Brooklyn. This is our first modern heavy cruiser. I think it's probably one of the most powerful non-battle cruisers in the world. In terms of construction underway, we have a battleship, 2 battle cruisers. Once those are done, then we are going to go... 6 more destroyers, huh? Well, the good news on that front is that I believe we have 10 or 12 destroyers underway right now. And Pueblo is commissioned. Improved armor testing methods. Improvement of armor quality, 1% weight saving. Hydrostatic pistols, better ASW capacity. Russia does have some subs operational, but nothing that really concerns me. Our monthly balance is a little more under control now that those 2 are finished, maybe. I can't, which is interesting actually, but I can't modularly choose now to apply damage control or it resets the whole timer, so we're just going to leave it at gunnery. I'm not going to start building anything else just yet. We can't afford it, but once all the Lawrence-class destroyers are finished, honestly, I might just have to lay down another batch of destroyers, but we'll see. I mean, the destroyer force actually needs to be rebuilt almost as urgently as the cruiser force does. As I realized when I did the special recently, I didn't... What? I don't want this to be this quick a war. Come on. Crush them completely. Mutually unacceptable demands. Okay. More efficient hull form. The Germans have lost the destroyer V-28 and the corvette Ehrenfels and sunk the destroyer Venushitelny. Let's see. Is the Russian fleet all in the Baltic and none of the German fleet? Yeah. There's not enough aircraft to make me really worried about that, but there's just too many battleships. I don't know. If Russia shows no inclination whatsoever to come out and fight anywhere, then maybe I'll risk moving into the Baltic at some point. Just to be exciting. Where did I send all those battleships? I mean, not all those, but I sent 2 battleships to the Pacific, did I not? Where the heck did they go? Southern Africa? What on earth? The Panama Canal exists now. Why would you go via Africa? Why would you ever go via Africa to get to Northeast Asia? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That makes no sense. But it's too late to have them turn around now, so I'm just going to have to keep an eye on that whenever else we move ships to Asia, I guess. Condenser trouble. Brooklyn is worked up. I'll probably send her... I don't know if there's much need for her in Europe. I might send the new cruisers to the Far East, actually. Just weight saving. That's it. 1% weight saving on hull. They couldn't even begin to come up with a name for that. I think Russia was just building a bunch of air bases in those messages. Yeah, Russia's building a lot of, well, several air bases and building corvettes and such, but interestingly, nobody else has joined the war, including France. Okay, Germany's moved quite a lot of ships into the Baltic. You know what? Let's help them out. This whole fleet, this is not like optimal. We should really just sit in Northern Europe and starve them out. But, what the hell? Let's do it the exciting way. Oh, I should, put ships in divisions, huh? Okay, guys, congratulations. You are the first battle division now. And you four should really probably just be third battle division. There we go. And then do I only have one battlecruiser division? Yeah, well, you guys are the first battlecruiser division now. And then we'll need to add 2 more. This is not terribly well organized, is it? First, second, there we go. I guess it is. Okay, yeah, and then Saratoga Lexington will be the second battlecruiser division, or Saratoga and Ranger. Sorry, I just want Saratoga and Lexington to be sister ships, but they aren't, and there's not even Lexington anymore. It's just Congress who will be the third. Right, and then Brooklyn and Pueblo get to be the first. Actually, rename that. First heavy cruiser division. Yay. Alright, anything else? Light cruisers are in 1, 2. We need a third division here. I've been neglecting this horribly, but that's fine. It's not really a big problem. It really isn't. It just helps the battle generator decide which ships of yours should be together, which so you will get a slightly more optimal battle generation if you use this intelligently, maybe, but it's not a huge deal if you don't set them up at all, to be honest. Depending how your fleet is. I mean, it especially matters if you have ships of a lot of different speeds and such. Alright, everybody's got divisions now. Everybody bigger than a destroyer. I think you can create destroyer divisions, but I don't want to, so. Anyway, yeah, everybody's going into the Baltic. We'll see if that immediately triggers a huge battle. It shouldn't be a death trap yet. 1921 is just a little bit too early still for aircraft to really be a big problem. However, we are very concerned about this destroyer thing still, huh? We are going to coastal raid them. I hate to decline, but I am going to, because honestly, because coastal raids are boring, and because if we don't have our German allies with us, then it would be pretty ugly trying to fight their whole fleet. Now that's a big heavy cruiser. It's not got a perfect gun layout. I mean, we looked at these, but I think, but yeah, enhanced warhead explosives, more torpedo damage. People are finally starting to build decent heavy cruisers again. In the post-battle cruiser era. Oh, interesting. They're probably going to decline. Yeah. They're probably... What? Alright. I don't ever understand why the AI declines one battle and then accepts another in the... Okay. In the same turn, but they actually failed there. Oh, additional war loan. Naval budget increased. Oh, but we're struggling with a carrier force. The Germans have lost G41 and sunk Kaluga. That's not ideal. Alright, does that mean our whole force... We are edging towards war with Spain. If it happens, we don't really need to change much of anything. I think the bulk of their fleet... I guess we'll probably move our fleet back out into Northern Europe if it happens, and just focus on smashing Spain first. Chasing them into the Caribbean. So our expeditionary fleet has arrived in Northeast Asia. We have generalized... I mean, we only have a couple of cruisers scattered around the Northern and Southeastern Asia areas, but there's no Russian forces out here, really, so... We have total naval superiority on the Russian east coast. It's just a shame we don't have a long enough invasion range to take anything. How are we doing on invasion tech? That's the thing, I think. But yeah, amphibious operations. We only have 2 techs in it. Maybe I should prioritize that more. Naval guns are doing well, at least. We have 0 quality, almost everything. Although you can get up to 2 quality, I believe, so it's got a ways to go still. Okay, we have a budget surplus now. I'm going to use it to lay down 2 more Brooklyn-class cruisers, probably. I like Seattle better. Huntington's not bad. Frederick's a little weird. But that's always one of the U.S. heavy cruiser names. It's just a little... Is there a town called Frederick? I mean, obviously I'm American. I've never heard of a town called... I mean, I'm sure there are a couple of small towns in the West called Frederick, but I've never heard of a large town called Frederick. So I don't quite know what that's named after, to be honest. The Army wants more resources. You know what? Sure, you just better win. 2,000-ton destroyers. Fantastic. 17-inch guns. Germany has the Arado AR-93. No, we'll be fine for a couple of years. Wow. Our budget just went... I mean, I did say that the Navy could have things, and I laid... Or the Army could have stuff, and I laid these down. But that's a big budget hit, even so. Maybe it's not as bad as I... Maybe it's not really that bad, because I did lay those 2 down. It's very bad, but in just a month or 2, all these destroyers will be finished, and then we'll be fine again. I think Spain is going to join the war, because they're allied with Russia, although it's a little suicidal of them to do so, but I think they're probably going to join it. France and Germany still have extremely high tensions, but haven't gone to war yet. I assume Russia's going to decline all of these battles. Oh, wait. Due to an intelligence coup, we can ambush an enemy force, that said, so... They're going to have to... Oh, they can't... They don't have any ships, yeah. That's the long and short of this. We're just racking up free victory points because they don't have any ships in the Far East, basically. Spain has a faster fighter than us? Okay. Oh, wow. One of our destroyers has sunk the submarine... Opt. That's our first submarine kill, I believe. Apparently the Russians have a roving heavy cruiser in the Central Pacific. Somebody should probably hunt that down. Interesting, they have aircraft in the North Pacific now. Well, as I said I would, I'm going to send Brooklyn and Pueblo to the Central Pacific and see if they can't hunt down that Russian raider. The budget is really bad, but we are about to finish a bunch more destroyers, so we'll see how it balances after that. Are they actually going to be able to fight this one? Unexpected battle convoy attack. Yeah, no, they still can't challenge our forces. At most, they have like 2 or 3 destroyers out here, according to our intelligence. 6 destroyers commissioned. That should have our budget loss, more or less. I'm not going to peace out until, preferably until something exciting has happened, but at least until they're really, suffering. Improved double gun mounts on light cruisers, tertiary guns in double mounts. Fantastic, actually. Okay. Well, I'm not really planning on using a lot more float plane scouts in future, but this thing is better in every way, so I'll buy it for only 480. And they've scuttled the Raider Svetlana due to mechanical problems. Was that the one I was chasing down? Are there any raiders still? No, there is still one in the Central Pacific, so I don't know where Svetlana was. I should probably pay more attention to the turn messages sometimes, but... Slightly strange what gets saved in those intel reports. Submarines. I've been ignoring those. Let's, How much do they cost? 200 a month to build. I'll build a couple. Just for experimental purposes. Thing is, in previous games, I've had at least one person ask about this. In previous games, they were almost entirely ineffective as long as you had a decent destroyer force. Unless, maybe as the player, if you were the smaller power, you could get some mileage out of it, but even then it wasn't exactly exciting. However, there is strategic movement of them on the strategic map now, and they're more complicated now, so okay, we're at war with Spain. So it's not as simple or as cut and dry as it was before. Well, Germany has enough ships to probably deal with Spain there, but I should be sure that Spain hasn't done anything. Doesn't have any ships anywhere that I ought to be concerned about. Why is everybody going around South America instead of via the goddamn Panama Canal? It's open. I know it is. I think pathfinding is still bugged despite its existence, maybe, or something. Well, okay. Germany has enough here that it should be able to keep Spain in line, so I'm going to keep our expeditionary force in the Baltic and hope for a battle to actually be generated there. I'm not sure why none have been, to be honest. I mean, the whole Russian fleet mostly is there and not here. Oh, we have a big budget surplus again. Not entirely sure why, except I guess all the destroyers being finished. We can build 2,000-ton destroyers now, can't we? We can, but I still have a lot more destroyers to replace. And I don't necessarily have the budget to replace all of them with the most expensive things in the world, so I'm going to just lay down another 12 destroyers of the Lawrence class. Once I get enough to actually phase out all these 500 and 600 and 700 ton types, then maybe I'll think about building a 2,000 ton destroyer. It's better to have slightly smaller, but actually have a large quantity of them. They're destroyers. Thanks for watching, sailors. I hope you enjoyed the video. New parts should be up daily, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy the video, consider leaving a like or subscribing. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.